So for 5D, correct? Okay, class, it's exactly like what we did for 5C. So what they will give you? They will give rate of change of certain thing. Like for example, rate of change of R function. Okay. Okay, so that means they will give you dr over, can be dt, can be dx, depend on the situation. Okay, I just put it as dt, right? So this is what it will be given to you. So if they give us dr over dt, so if I want to find the rate, I straight away get from there. If I want to find the R function, to find function for R, what I do, I just need to integrate. I just need to integrate. Am I right? Yep. Okay. So I will get the R function. It will have a plus C. Hello? Why? Cannot see? Cannot see clearly. Can you? Okay. Can I? Okay. So this is one thing. Okay. Second thing is, I have to know that if this is my dr over dt graph, so I have to know how to interpret the area bounded by the curve. Correct? So if I integrate from A to B, dr over dt. Yeah, so what does it tell you? How do you interpret? I will say total amount. Like yesterday, we talked about velocity, correct? It's the rate of change of displacement. So the area bounded by the curve is the total distance traveled, correct? So this will be total amount of R for T between A and B. So these are the concepts that you have to know. So you just need to apply these two concepts. What is the meaning of the area bounded by the rate of change? Can or not? Itu saja. So actually the application for integration, correct, is a very simple and straightforward. You just need to remember this. And interpretation always say like that. You get me? Can or not? Okay, so we are going to solve two questions. And the first question I'm going to solve is extremely important. And is given in example 10 on page 145. So the example, I will let you go and look through it. I will explain 5D question 2. We'll do together. Okay, can we? Am I going too fast? So let's go to exercise 5D. Question 2. Okay, so for this chapter, if you see the word margin, marginal of anything, marginal profit, marginal cost. If the question didn't tell you, you should know that if P is the profit, so marginal profit means what is given by the question? Marginal profit means P prime X. And in this case, we don't talk about time. Usually when you talk about profit or cost, you talk about the production, right? The number of production. And in this case, what is X? What is X? Can you tell me what is X? X, you have to recognize that X is the number of, in this case, number of what? Plates. Number of plates what? Produced per week. Number of plates produced per week. So the time is week. Okay? Can or not? So that's all. And you look at here, I give you a very simple rate of change function, correct? So find the profit function. So based on, and if no plate are produced, so that means the second statement, if X is equal to 0, what is the profit? What is the profit? May I know? Is it 650? Negative 650. So if your profit is negative, means you are running at the loss. You are running at a loss, correct? So based on all this information, can you try to do part A, B, and C? Can you please now try to do part A, B, and C for question 2? If you now know how to do it by yourself, your SAT 3, you will get 9 marks. Start doing 5D question 2. Okay, so you have a look at it. So first of all, I have this information, P prime X is equal to 15 minus 0.03x. So they want the profit function. So that means I have to integrate this. Okay. So I got 15x minus 0.03 power plus 1 divided by the power, right? Plus C. So I have my profit function as this. So now I have to find a way to get the C. Am I right? So I will base on if no plates, no plate means this implies X equal to 0. No plate are made. Then the profit will be negative because of the word loss. 650. So now I put negative 650 is equal to 15 times 0. Take away 0.015 times 0 plus C. So the C is negative 650. So therefore, the profit function is 15x minus 0.015x squared. Take away 650. Done. Are you clear? Okay. So now let's go to part B. Part B will be something that we learned in chapter 3. Correct? What is a maximum profit? So do we need to differentiate? No need, because it's given the rate of change of profit already. Correct? So for part B, what I need to do, PX is maximum. I have to know this. When P prime X equal to 0. So this is something that I have to know because optimum happen. That means the optimum happen at the situation whereby the rate of change is equal to 0. Then it start to turn the direction, correct? So therefore, I put down 15 minus 0.03x is equal to 0. So my x will be equal to 15 divided by 0.03. Am I right? So the answer is, someone give me the answer, please. 500 plates. So I still have to prove that. So he said, when does this occur? So I said, when it produces 500 plates. So I still have to put the sign diagram of P prime X. So what is the margin for X? Lowest value for X definitely is 0, correct? So what is the highest value? It can be anything here. Because, okay, so here is your 500. So here is a plus and here is a minus. Am I right? So that's sure. So then you answer, okay, a maximum profit will occur when it make 500 plates. So answer to the question, therefore, make a habit of doing that. Okay, so for part C, correct? When we talk about business, anyone want to run at the loss? No, you are not going to run at the loss, correct? So that means your profit must be always greater than or equal to 0, correct? Yep. Got it? So now you sketch the graph. The graph should go like that. Am I right? This is a profit function. Do you get that? So can you find this value and this value? So you don't have to solve manually. If you don't want, you can also use your scientific calculator, correct? Your scientific calculator, you solve for this. You solve for 15x minus 0.015x squared minus 650 equal to 0. You will get two values of x. Am I right? You can do that. I sketch a graph because I want to explain certain thing to you. So what is x? What is x1? Can you tell me? Yes? 25, 45.39. Okay, x2? Yes? 954.6. Okay, so look at number of plates. Look at number of plates. You cannot put decimal, correct? So look, here is 45.39. Here is 954.6. Okay, so now you have to make a decision whether to round up or round down. Look, here is your 955. Here is your 954. So for the upper, you should round up or round down? Round down. Why? If you round up, the profit will be negative. Correct? So you cannot round accordingly. That's why I want to sketch the graph and let you have a look. And for the lower, Here is your 45. Here is your 46. So you tell me, for the lower, you should round up or round down. In this case, round up. So therefore, conclusion, your X must be between 46 and 954 plates. You see or not? Decision whether to round up or round down all depend on the situation and the graph. So I cannot decide for you. Do you get me? Class? Can or not? Those online, are you okay? So I show you clearly. So if next time you don't know whether to round up or round down, get the figure of it, get the picture of it, then you will know how to decide. Yes? Okay or not? Boleh. And this is very important later when we talk about statistics. Decision making. Like for example, correct? If for example, okay, let me elaborate a little bit. Like for example, sometimes when we talk about, okay, sometimes we talk about the maximum situation. It doesn't give us a whole number. It doesn't give us a whole number. For example, it gives us, okay, 132.4. Okay, this is talking about the number of plates. So how are we going to decide whether to take 132 or 133? So we have to test. We get the value. We take P equal to 133. We take the value. We see which is bigger. You see or not? So you have to make a decision if when we talk about the whole number, because you cannot take the whole number. Hello? You see or not? You test it out. If this is a situation. So a lot of skills is you must dare to try, use graph to figure out. Can or not? Okay, good. So any question on this? I told you already, this is very important. You want your 9 mark, you take. If you don't want, you just don't bother about this question. Okay, the rest you can try your own. Okay, I want to talk about question 7 on page 146. Can you please turn to question 7? Page 146, question 7. Okay, a person, Evan is happily paddling until his kayak strike a sharp rock. Water begin to leak in at the rate of, so R1T, you must remember this is the rate of water leak in. Okay, so it's equal to 5 minus 5 e to the power negative 0.2t. Okay, so when I read, I will straight away put into my calculator. Okay, liter per minute. Okay. Evans tries to bail the water out of the kayak. Okay, means take out. So this is the rate of bailing out the water. So equal to 6 minus 6e to the power negative 0.1 t. After 2 minutes, at what rate is water leaking into the kayak being built from the kayak? Okay, this part A should be straightforward, am I right? You should be able to do part A, T equal to 2. So R1, 2. Okay, you just put into your graphic calculator. You key in already, you can just do it. Okay, what is the answer? One point 1.65 liter per minute. Okay, how about Bill? Out. So it's slower. 1.09. So the level of water in the kayak will keep increasing, correct? Okay. So, everyone, are you following? Okay, everyone in the class? Okay, now, is the amount of water in the kayak increasing or decreasing after 2 minutes? The rate of leaking in is higher than the rate of build out. So therefore, what is the conclusion? So you say it's increasing because R12 is greater than R22, correct? That's all. Explain your answer. The rate of leaking in is higher than the rate of build out. Okay, done. So the other class online. Can or not? Okay, so now evaluate the following. Okay, so you just straight away evaluate the following. First part, you just use your graphic calculator and evaluate R1T dt. So what is the answer? Huh? 3.72 liter. All right? Okay, how about part 2? 2 to 5. R2T. $5.27 liter. So if I ask you to interpret, you know how to interpret, huh? Like first one, you will say that, okay, 3.72 total 3.72 liter of water has been leaking into the boat, right? In the first 3 seconds. So must say the time, 3 minutes. Okay, so, and for part 2, you say from t equal to 2 to t equal to 5. So within that 3 minutes, correct? Amount of water that has been built out is 5.27 liter. Okay, so now let's look at part 3. Because they say interpret their meaning, you have to interpret, write in words. Are you clear? So the first one is the amount of water, the total amount of water leaked in for the first 3 seconds is 3.72 liter. And number 2, the amount of water built out from t equal to 2 to t equal to 5, that is within these 3 seconds, correct, is 5.27 liter. Okay. So part 3. Part 3 is the one that we have to take notes of. R1T, I break into 2 parts. Minus 0 to 8 R2T. So what is your answer? Tedious, what is your answer for part 3? 5.088 liter. Okay, try, interpret. How do you interpret the first part? Tedious, 5.088, is it for R1 or R1 minus R2? Minus of 88. Sure. Okay, yeah. So now I want you to interpret this value. What do you mean by 5.088 liter? Every number that you get, you must know how to interpret. So you don't have to purposely calculate this. You must know what is the meaning of this part. Okay, yeah, this is the amount of water leaked in the first 8 seconds. This one is the amount of water built out in the first 8 seconds. So if I take away, what does that mean? Begitu banyak masuk, begitu banyak keluar. Ini ialah yang tertinggal. So what is the answer? How do you? Yeah. So if I want to talk about this sense, instead of the total amount of water leaked in is 5.088 liter more than the amount of water leaked out. Yeah. So another interpretation, if I ask you a question, after 8 seconds, how much water is in the boat? Then how are you going to answer? Yeah. So actually, the interpretation for this one will be the best is after 8 seconds. After 8 seconds, the amount of water that is in the boat, right? In the boat is 5.88 or 088. 088 liter. The amount of water still in the kayak. No, sorry, still in the kayak. So if you know how to answer that for part 3, you will know how to answer part D. Am I right? Betul tak? So if you know how to answer part 3 as after 8 seconds, okay, 5.088 liter of water is in the kayak. Or you say 5.088 liter of water is in the kayak after 8 seconds. So now part D, after 10 seconds, what you do? You just integrate from 0 to 10, R1T dt minus R2. Okay, you can do it together. Don't have to separate. Yeah, depend on where you key on. You can change where you key in one. So what is your answer? Is it more or less? More. How much more? 6.31. 6.31 liter. Round off 80. Hello? So if I ask you the question, in the long run, will the amount of water in the boat increasing or decreasing? Increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Okay. If I ask you to show, then how are you going to show? If I ask you to show, then how are you going to show? Saya boleh tambah lagi, ha? Cikgu boleh tambah soalan punya. If I ask you to show that the amount of water in the kayak is always increasing. So how are you going to show? How are you going to show? How are you going to show? Like yesterday, we also show, correct? So how are you going to show? You can show by sign diagram or you can show by graph. The graph of rate of change. You look. If you plot the two graphs, which graph will have a higher rate of change? R1, correct? How is the graph look like? R1, 5 minus 5. When t equal to 0, or both start with 0, correct? Both start with 0. And are you sure R1? Are you sure R1 or R2? What is the limiting value for R1? The limiting value for R1, ini R1 kan? Okay, how is R2 look like? Can I have a look at the graph? I lazy to keep it. So my question is not right, correct? So your R1 is blue, huh? Your R2 is red. So R2 go like that. At first it's slow. Then after that it go like that. This is your R2, correct? Okay. So my question is wrong. It's not always increasing. Am I right? So show that the amount of water in the kayak is always increasing. So you tell the teacher your question is wrong. Kenapa tak boleh? You think teacher is always right. At this age, you don't think that teacher is always right, okay? You have to question the teacher. When you are young, we don't allow you to question the teacher. When you are at this age, you should question the teacher. You see or not? Are you clear? So you say, answer, question is wrong. Yep. Okay, you explain why. You explain why. You find the point of intersection, please. 16.1. Okay. So you say question is wrong because what? For t between 0 and 16.1, R1t is greater than R2t. So therefore, the water increases. Water level in the boat increases. Am I right? In the kayak increases. But for t greater than 16.1, unless even can last for 16 minutes, keep building out the thing, okay? Yeah, okay. For t greater than 16.1, R2t is greater than R1t. So the water level in the kayak decreases, right? So it's exactly like yesterday, right? You see, it's just a different scenario. It's exactly like yesterday. We talk about what? What are we talking about? We're talking about the zebra and the lion. You see or not? I can also put the question in such a way. When does the level of the water in the kayak stop rising? Boleh tak? Yeah, stop rising at this time. So semua pun boleh. That's why when you look at one question, correct? You go into the graph. You ask yourself, what are the extended questions that can be asked from here? Then you can improve. Then I do this one example, correct? Actually, I discussed 3-4 examples already. You see, you don't have to keep going back. I don't have to give you a lot of examples if you are able to extend the question. Yeah. Are you okay? So you have to learn how to, based on the question you have in the exercise, correct? What other question my teacher can ask me? That you sure excel on. You sure better than your teacher. And I'm very proud of you. You can be anytime better than me. You can anytime challenge me. I'm waiting for a long time already for students to challenge me. That the best is you can come up with a question that I cannot answer. I accept the kind of challenge. Okay,